Hi everyone, happy Sleep Tip Tuesday. Thanks for joining me today. This week I want to talk about something you may not have heard of that can totally contribute to insomnia. So this is mineral imbalance. I know we hear about vitamins all the time, but we don't hear as much about minerals, except for individually you hear about magnesium. And how that can help with sleep. But we don't hear a lot about minerals in general. And what's most important to know is that they work synergistically together. So that's a lot of times why supplementing with just magnesium isn't enough to help. First of all, you need other cofactors to absorb magnesium, certain vitamins, B vitamins, and other minerals like boron. And then also because you need all of these minerals to be in balance with each other. So this is why I have all of my clients do a hair tissue mineral analysis test that shows their mineral status. It shows what they are excreting, looks at heavy metals as well, so that we can see what's going on and if mineral imbalances are contributing to their insomnia. Usually it's not the only thing. There's more than just that going on, but it is part of it. And so it is really important to address this as well. So I found that most of my clients have what's called slow metabolism. And that actually means that according to a mineral test, that your adrenals and your thyroid are both sluggish or slow. And it has to do with the balance of your minerals. So we look at the first four minerals: calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. And I like to see all of those in balance, and they never are on anyone's first test. And what happens with slow metabolism is that your body isn't able to retain that sodium and potassium. So then those levels build up on a mineral test. And then calcium and magnesium can't get out of the cells, so they build up in the soft tissue like the hair, but then they're not available to be used by the body. So this is, what you see even for people taking magnesium supplements. A lot of times they aren't absorbing it, and so they are losing it in the hair. So some of these symptoms of slow metabolism or slow oxidation, the first one is insomnia. There's also hypothyroid symptoms like weight gain, cold hands and feet, and fatigue. Constipation is another one, sugar cravings and low blood sugar, apathy, depression, social withdrawal, negative thoughts, dry skin, brain fog, joint pain, low blood pressure, and osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. So lots of different symptoms that go along with this slow oxidation, which is why it's so important to work on minerals and get those back in balance. Now, another common thing I see with many of my clients is what's called a calcium shell. And so this is when calcium levels in the hair are really high, meaning that your body isn't absorbing calcium. And this is what can make calcium supplements so dangerous, because if your body isn't absorbing it, then it deposits it in soft tissues like hair or your arteries. So that's also why it's really important to take vitamin K2, especially if you're taking calcium supplements, but K2 helps put calcium in the bones where it is supposed to go. So you can get a calcium shell from too much calcium supplements, from emotional trauma or chronic stress. This is the body's way of kind of numbing itself against that kind of trauma. It can be from hard drinking water that has a lot of calcium, hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, iodine deficiency, and copper toxicity, which I'll talk about in a minute. So some of these symptoms of a calcium shell are going to be joint and muscle pain or cramps, spasms, or twitches. And that's because calcium is a really sharp mineral. And so as that moves around, then it can cause that kind of pain. Hypothyroid symptoms, again, are another one. Arthritis, osteoporosis, bone spurs, kidney stones, even fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome are associated with a calcium shell or too much calcium. depression, brain fog, and anxiety, irritability, and racing mind, especially if it's paired with being copper toxic. So again, another thing that doesn't directly lead to insomnia, but it leads to that imbalance in minerals and too much calcium in your body not absorbing calcium and being in that slow metabolism state can contribute to insomnia. So if you have any of those symptoms, then you could very well have a calcium shell and not be absorbing calcium. Now, the last thing I want to talk about that is really common in many of my female clients is copper toxicity. So this is especially common if you've been on birth control or if you've been a vegan or a vegetarian, because meat has more zinc. And so if you're not eating meat, then copper can easily build up because there's not enough zinc to keep it in balance. So those are two big things that can be causing copper toxicity. And other things are, drinking from copper pipes, drinking water from copper pipes, or cooking in copper cookware. That's another common reason. So copper is an important metal, but it can accumulate too much and cause toxic symptoms. And it actually accumulates in your liver and your brain. And it can cause symptoms like fatigue, anxiety or irritability, insomnia, again, that hypothyroidism, brain fog, racing mind, infertility, and this is really linked to candida infections as well. So like I said, many of my female clients have this copper toxicity. I actually am dealing with this right now as well, and I haven't taken birth control pills for at least 12 years. But it's still built up in my body. And only as we balance out the minerals and your body gets stronger can you start getting rid of it in a really safe way. But it's crazy how common this is with sleep issues, and it's not surprising since it can cause that and cause that anxiety, cause that racing mind, cause all of those symptoms that can definitely lead to insomnia. And copper really affects other minerals because it depletes potassium. It raises sodium at first, which gives you energy, but then it depletes it. And it increases how quickly you burn through magnesium by 5 times. So another common reason for magnesium deficiency is that copper, that excess copper, kind of using that up really quickly. And it also pushes calcium to the soft tissues, creating a calcium shell. So that's how those two are connected. So this is why the hair tissue mineral analysis test is so important, because there are many things going on there that can contribute to insomnia. I hope that explains a little more about minerals and how important they are if you have sleep issues. There's definitely imbalances going on if you aren't sleeping well. So luckily there is testing that can help show us what's going on so that we can address it and fix it. Let me know if you have any questions about this, or if you want to chat about your sleep. I am happy to do so. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the group. Thanks for your love, Christina.